guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. Well, I'm back with another installment of my new series, guys, where I give you kind of a virtual walkthrough of the Disney World theme parks. I am going park by park. I'm giving you a breakdown of all the rides, most of the dining, and a few of the shops, right? Kind of the important information that you need to know when you're headed to Disney World. I have so many videos out there. I have park itinerary videos. I have game planning videos. I have actual vlog footage of me and my family at the parks with the rides. I have all sorts of craziness, tips and tricks, but you guys still want to know more information. And I think what it comes down to is you really just want to know what's in the park, right? Just kind of a virtual walkthrough of the map. Now, maps are hard to come by. You do get them at the parks and at Disney resorts. You might be able to check eBay, but I'm gonna basically give you an exact walkthrough of what's in the map. This is the current map right now, and if it's not a little obvious, we're gonna talk about Epcot today, right? Who likes my ears? Yeah, these are Epcot inspired. I will tell you how in a minute as we go through this video. So this particular video is pretty long. I've got 4 pages of information. Epcot is really known for its dining. So when I get to some of these dining venues in the World Showcase, I might kind of go a little fast for you guys. So make sure you grab a pen and paper and you take notes. I'm gonna give you a land by land guide of this park. Are you guys ready for a virtual walkthrough using the current park map of Epcot? Yeah, pretty excited? First thing you kind of need to know about Epcot is it's a really large park, and I think that's why I have 4 pages worth of information. You want to think of Epcot, if this helps you, as a figure 8. So think in your mind, a figure 8. Epcot is divided basically into 2 parts, the front and the back. The front used to be known as the Future World Showcase, where the majority of the rides were and things that kind of didn't have any country association. It was just called Future World. The back half of that figure 8 has always been and still is the World Showcase. That is where you're going to hit individual countries. Now, these individual countries have dining. Lots of crazy, amazing, delicious dining. They have shops kind of dedicated to that country. If you happen to love Frozen and you want to get something, from Norway, you would want to visit the Norway Showcase. Hopefully this makes sense. So the figure 8, we got the front part, which is where the main entrance is, and that's where the majority of the rides are. As you go to the back of that figure 8, that is the countries. Now, Epcot has 2 entrances. I have talked about this before in my itinerary planning video. We got the main entrance, which is at the bottom of the figure 8, the very center. That's the main entrance. Buses, other, people who drive over, monorail people, that is your main entrance. For people who are taking the Skyliner or staying at an Epcot resort, you're coming in through the International Gateway, which is actually near France. So hopefully this kind of makes sense a little bit in your head when you think about Epcot. Just imagine a figure 8 as I keep showing you these maps of the park, right? So you ready? Let's hop to it. So Disney recently changed the names of the lands within Epcot. They're getting a little creative, which is a little bit more difficult for me because I'm still kind of learning these names. They are really brand new right now. So again, I said there's Future World. And then I said there's the World Showcase. So the World Showcase has maintained to stay the World Showcase for now. The Future World Showcase has been divided up into 3 different lands, and we're just gonna talk about them, starting with the first land, the one that's closest to the main entrance, the one that focuses more on that big ball, right? The Epcot ball, the golf ball, also known as Spaceship Earth, and a few of the rides nearby. And then we're gonna hit the other lands. Hopefully this helps you guys. So first thing is World Celebration. That is the name of the land, again, part of the Future World Showcase. World Celebration basically includes the main entrance, the golf ball, and a few little surrounding areas. It's part of that front half of the figure 8. So there's 3 pretty decent attractions here over in World Celebration. The first one is going to be Spaceship Earth. absolutely love Spaceship Earth. It's kind of like a classic iconic ride for Epcot. It's a slow ride, very slow moving ride. It's family friendly 100%, and it's gonna go through the communications and tech throughout the ages, how we learned how to communicate with each other and others beyond, right? So it's very animatronic, very slow, kind of kitschy, but you gotta love it, right? Just do it. You'll love it, just do it. That is Spaceship Earth. It's in the giant golf ball, right? So the first ride that you see if you go straight into Epcot using the main entrance is gonna be Spaceship Earth. Next up is not really a ride, but it's gonna be the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. Now this isn't really near the Epcot ball, so I'm not really sure why they're including it in the same area, but this is also part of World Celebration. Now this is a great activity if you need a time killer, right? You're waiting for those Genie Pluses, perhaps you have a dining reservation coming by. Maybe it's rainy, or you just need some air conditioning, or you've got some kiddos that just need a break. They just need to chill in front of a TV set, so to speak, and take a break. The film festival is a great way to do that. All those amazing Disney and Pixar shorts will be shown for you there. Next up is Journey into the Imagination with Figment. Now, if anyone has watched my other videos, you will know I am not a fan of this ride. It is super silly. But it's family friendly, absolutely. It is a slow moving, family friendly ride. It's also something you would call a time killer. You know, you don't necessarily have to do it, but if you're trying to kill time between Genie Pluses and dining reservations, this is a good ride. It's a good ride for rainy days, air conditioning, all that good stuff. But it's most important to do if you really want to learn about Figment. Who is the Grand Master of Epcot? A little purple dragon? Yeah, this is the situation where you are gonna learn all about Figment and his silliness. But yeah, those are the 3 rides in World Celebration. The eats in this area are brand new. Came out a few months ago. They're called the Connections Cafe and Eatery. Now they are connected, but they are considered 2 completely different restaurants, so to speak. So Connections Cafe, wait for it, Starbucks, that's what it is. Connections Cafe is code for Starbucks. You want a Starbucks? You need your coffee fix? Yep, that's where you're gonna go. The Connections Eatery, again connected to it, is a really amazing quick service location. It's new adventurous eats and they're good over at Connections Eatery. Now the shops you got here are gonna be the Creation Shop. Now this is also relatively new or remodeled. This is like the Emporium over at Magic Kingdom. It's got a lot of stuff in it. So if you're looking for that big old gift shop that's gonna have the majority of the goodies, you're gonna wanna go to the Creation Shop. Next up, I don't know why it's listed under shopping, Disney, why? We've got Club Cool. Now Club Cool is a mini shop featuring Coca-Cola products, but that's not why people go to Club Cool. You go to Club Cool to get a sampling of all the Coca-Cola products throughout the world, including one very special flavor, I'm just gonna say it, Beverly. Make sure you guys give Beverly a taste. But yeah, you just walk up to a machine, they give you little cups, you get a little taste of all the different types of soda, right? And yeah, and kind of explore Coca-Cola throughout the world. Again, I have a whole video on Club Cool, including me trying these different flavors. But yeah, that's what Club Cool is. And then we've got at the very front of Epcot, when you first walk in, kind of close to Spaceship Earth, you know, the big golf ball, we've got 2 tiny little shops there, and they are pin traders or gateway gifts. They're kind of similar to each other. They're just kind of last minute souvenir places, a lot of pins and last minute trinkets. But that's what's in World Celebration. Again, that very front part of Epcot. Now, if we go a little bit to the left, we're gonna hit World Discovery. Again, still part of that future world. I kind of think of it as the space area, you know, a lot of innovation, or maybe you can consider it, you know, the area with all the rides that have motion. Maybe get you a little sick. Yeah, that's where you're gonna wanna go, is World Discovery. So there's 3 big rides over there. The first one is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is brand spanking new, right? So if you haven't heard of it, check out my video on that ride. It's going to require kiddos to be 42 inches. It's not too tall, but you got to note about this ride. This ride has been known to give lots of people some motion sickness. Not everybody, but a good amount. This ride is fast, full of motion, thrill, and of course, fun. You're going to be in a vehicle that's going to do some quick spinning into like a virtual screen. This is what's causing people to have the motion between the quick spin and the virtual screen. That's where the issue is here. But it's like a virtual kind of coaster with spins, although it is really a ride. So yeah, that is Guardians of the Galaxy. Next up is Mission Space. Now, you could not pay me enough money to get on this ride, but it exists, and I have been inside of it, just not while it was moving. Just note there are 2 levels here. It is a NASA inspired style like training vessel. It is like virtual reality simulated, like you're working for NASA and you're gonna shoot off into space as an astronaut. They're gonna require you to press buttons and pull levers and do all these things while you're simulating, you know, rocketing into space. The problem is that motion aspect. So if you want to give it a try, but you're not really sure, you definitely want to start out at green level. That's going to require kiddos to be 40 inches tall. Now, if you think you can handle the craziness, then you can jump all the way to orange level, and that's going to require kiddos to be 44 inches. So yeah, if motion doesn't bother you and you really love the idea of astronauts and going off into space, then yeah, Mission Space is for you. The third ride here is Test Track. Test Track is going to require those kiddos to be 40 inches. It's kind of a fun family-friendly ride if you indeed like the idea of racing on a legit racetrack, right? You do create a virtual vehicle and then you go and ride it on this giant track. You can see it outside, so you can decide if it's for you. But yeah, if you go anywhere near Test Track, you hear the vroom. Very loud over there. But yeah, it's a great, fun, thrilling ride for many people. But again, you're spinning on that track, so you could get some motion issues there. Next up are the eats over at World Discovery. Now, the first one to note, of course, is Space 220. Space 220 is the new restaurant that just came out that basically rockets you into space. And then you literally eat in space. Yes, I'm sorry to say that it is all simulated, but it's a really cool experience. In fact, my favorite part about Space 220 isn't even the food. It's the rocketing to space and then coming back down to Earth. That is my favorite part. And then while you're there, of course, you get to have views and things of space while you're dining. Things you need to know. This restaurant is quite pricey. It's really cool, but it may, sorry, Space 220, may be a little overrated and too expensive for what you get. So just know that going into it. It's a great place for kids. My kids absolutely loved eating at this restaurant. I just don't think I liked paying for the bill. I think that was the main issue here, but yeah, that is Space 220. And just note at Space 220, you could get reservations for the lounge, where I do believe you can still order similar food items from the regular restaurant. The issue with the lounge is you're further back from the window that has you looking off into space. So that's your option there, Space 220, the restaurant, or the lounge if the restaurant is booked up. And then of course, just gotta mention it, there's a Geoffrey's cart in the area, AKA coffee. Yep, in case those of you need your fix. Now the shopping in here is just like one of those gift shops that's kind of like at the exit of a ride. And that's gonna be the Treasure of Xander. So that's the gift shop over for Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just some cool relics and some Guardians merch there. But yes, that is the shopping in that area. And now the third and final area of the Future World Showcase is World Nature. Now this area is known as the Land Pavilion. If you have seen any of my videos and I talk about the Land Pavilion, yeah, this includes that area and also the Nemo area. So inside World Nature, we have a couple of rides and attractions actually. First thing up is gonna be Awesome Planet. This is inside the Land Pavilion. It is just a movie, guys. It is a quick movie about Earth. In fact, it's a really, really cool movie about Earth. We watch it almost every trip. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it's a great way to, again, if those kiddos are having meltdowns, you just got to stick them in front of a screen. This is a great way to do that. It's a great way to kill time, have some air conditioning, and it's easy entertainment. But actually, the movie or the show they play you about Awesome Planet is kind of cool and interesting for those of you who like that kind of thing. Next thing up is Soarin' Around the World. Now this is going to require kiddos to be 40 inches. It's really hard to explain this ride because it's not really a coaster, but you do move a little bit. So you do have to buckle yourself in a seat similar to an airplane. And then your seat is literally just going to move up. That's it. And then it stays that way for the whole time while you watch a film. Now, the film, it moves and rotates as it's soaring around the world. Yeah, if that makes sense. So you get this virtual feeling of motion, even though you're physically not even moving. And then when the movie is over, your ride just your seat just goes back down and then you've landed, if this makes sense. So it's a simulated, like you're flying off into space, but your actual vehicle, if you're gonna call it a vehicle, your seat doesn't really move outside of just that first, just getting you up into the air. It's actually a very cool ride attraction. It's very family friendly, absolutely love it. If you get yourself into some motion issues, again, because that screen makes you feel like you're flying, just close your eyes and you'll be fine. Next thing up is Living with the Land. This is also inside the Land Pavilion. This is a very slow boat ride in water. You are not going to get wet. In fact, it's just going to take you through a couple of Disney's greenhouses. Just some very slow moving boats here. We're going to learn about greenhouses and agriculture and all that great stuff. It is most definitely family friendly. Next thing up is the Sea with Nemo and Friends. This is a very family friendly, slow clamshell ride. You actually climb into a clamshell and it just sort of moves. And in front of you, you will learn about, Nemo and his experience, and you'll see some fishies and all sorts of great stuff. Again, family friendly, quick, short, cute. I think you guys got the hang of it. Next thing up is going to be Turtle Talk with Crush. It's in the same area as the Nemo. I'm going to call it the Nemo Pavilion here. Turtle Talk with Crush is a really cool experience, especially for those kiddos, because you actually get to have a conversation with Crush himself. Yeah, he's actually answering questions. It's cute, it's adorable, especially when Crush talks to some kiddos that have some very curious questions. How Crush maybe answers those questions can be quite comical. The next thing up is Sea Base Aquarium. Now, Nemo and Turtle Talk with Crush are inside a huge aquarium known as Sea Base Aquarium. So when you get off Nemo, you can actually just go upstairs and see all the fishies and animals, most of which are rescues, which I love. We're talking dolphins, manatees, a turtle, sharks, and all sorts of fishies over inside the Sea Base Aquarium. Now, again, air conditioning, time killer, entertainment. I think you guys understand that. But those are the rides and attractions inside World Nature. Now we do have a few eats in here. First we have Sunshine Seasons. This is a cafeteria style quick service location inside that Land Pavilion next to Living with the Land and Soarin' Around the World. I absolutely love this location for the variety of options. You got a picky eater, they're probably gonna find something to eat at Sunshine Seasons. Really good variety. It's not just your hamburgers and french fries, so to speak. Next thing up is Garden Grill. Garden Grill is also inside the Land Pavilion, except this is a sit down, you need reservations, character meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with Chip and Dale and Mickey and Pluto. And the really cool thing about this restaurant, outside of the fact that it's a character meal, is it slowly rotates, just really, really slowly rotates over the Living with the Land ride. So you're just sitting there eating, hey Chip, hey Dale, and all of a sudden your view changes and you're inside the Living with the Land ride. It's absolutely cool. If you love farm fresh foodies, check out the menu. That's a great restaurant. And I found the character interaction specifically at Garden Girl to be pretty amazing. We got to see those characters over and over again, and they got super close. Absolutely love that location. The third restaurant here is Coral Reef. Now, Coral Reef gave me one of the best meals I have ever had on Disney property. 100%. Recently ate there, and I can't wait to go back and get that meal again. But the really cool thing about Coral Reef is you're dining inside an aquarium. That's right. So if you have a few extra minutes, don't forget to ask for an aquarium seat so you can be right there next to those sharks and turtles and fishies. But it's really nice food. Reservations are required, again, inside an aquarium. Who wouldn't want to eat inside of an aquarium? Oh my goodness. There isn't a lot of, actually there's no shopping listed for this area, but just note that the Nemo area does have a little gift shop there in case you're looking for some Nemo themed plushies and toys and t-shirts and all that good stuff. But we are finally done with the Future World Showcase being broken up into 3 different lands. We are now into the World Showcase, and I gotta get going because this video is already too long. So the World Showcase is all the countries, from Mexico all the way to Canada, all one big section. That top half of the figure 8 are all the countries. And I'm gonna name the 3 top rides that you would wanna go to inside the World Showcase before I break down the actual different countries, if that makes sense. So the top 3 rides, like I said, inside the World Showcase are Remy, right? Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This is the new ride. The thing you need to know about this is it's a trackless system. It is virtual, so you do get 3D glasses. You get into a vehicle, and sometimes there is some like quick spinning and you're in a new scene, right, with your glasses on, and you're watching some virtual screens. It can cause motion issues to some people. My advice is to just remove the glasses. There is some light spinning in that ride, but otherwise I'd call it family friendly. It's light, it's fun, it's quick. Love Ratatouille. Next thing up is Frozen Ever After. I mean Frozen, right? Kind of self-explanatory. It is family friendly. Now it is a boat ride. And you kind of may get a little wet. Are you gonna get soaked? Most likely not. But there is water involved, so you might get some splashing. Now the big deal here with Frozen Ever After is there is a drop. It's quick, it's short, it's little. It's an introductory to like a coaster drop, but you're just doing a drop. It's real quick, it's simple, it's light. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean if you're familiar with that ride. But yeah, family friendly, small drop hill. You may get a little wet. All right, the third ride here is the Grand Fiesta Tour. Yeah, starring the 3 Caballeros. So the 3 Caballeros ride is a very simple, family friendly little boat ride. Yes, you are in water, but you are not gonna get wet. And you're gonna just take a nice little tour of Mexico, sort of, and learn about Donald Duck and his craziness while he's trying to get ready to go on stage with the 3 Caballeros. Again, great time killer, air conditioning, family fun, simple. That is the 3 Caballeros. So those are the 3 main rides in the World Showcase. Again, most of the rides are in the Future World Showcase that we've already talked about. Let's break it down. Of course, like I said, I gotta go fast around here, so I'm just gonna pop up images of this dining rather than thoroughly explaining every single one. And just note that even though shopping isn't really listed in all these areas, all the countries do have some form of shopping inside them to get country-specific little trinkets and items. So just know that going into it. So the first one here is if you've done the Future World Showcase and now you're ready to split off to that figure 8. We're gonna start and go left, which is gonna put us in Mexico. Now the Mexico Pavilion is my favorite. If you haven't seen any of my videos, note you can meet Donald, yeah, in his serape. He's so cute, absolutely love it. But yes, Mexico, let's talk about it. So yeah, the ride here in Mexico is that 3 Caballeros ride I mentioned before. But the eats here, they have a lot of eats, and I'm talking yummy, one of my favorite places to eat here. First, we got San Angel Inn Restaurante. This restaurant's actually inside the Mexican Pavilion. Thing you need to know here is it's a dark restaurant. It's very dark in there because you are inside the ride of the Three Caballeros. So while you're eating, you actually get to see boats go by as they're getting ready to ride the ride. You get to watch those boats. Yummy food, of course, Mexican food. Yes, you need reservations for that. Next one up is the La Hacienda San Angel. Now, don't get the two confused because they both say San Angel, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Sorry, guys. But this one is outside the pavilion, right? So the restaurante is inside. The La Hacienda is outside, where you can actually get fabulous views of the fireworks if you get reservations at nighttime. Now, you're gonna have a little different of a culinary experience here, but it is still Mexican food. Again, you want those reservations. Check out the menus for both. Next thing up is the La Cantina. Absolutely love this location. This is the quick service in Mexico. This is where, if you've seen any of my Epcot vlogs, this is where the kids and I go to get rice and beans. I literally order chips and guacamole, and then I get rice and beans, I put it on top, and I make our own nachos. Absolutely love this. They've got margaritas and all sorts of yumminess, and it's quick service, so you got quick. Issue with this restaurant is they have like 5 tables to sit at, and they're really, really hard to get a table. Okay, it's more than 5 tables, but you get my point. The tables are always filled up. It's very hard to sit there, but yum. The food is so good at the La Cantina. Next thing up is you've got 2 restaurants here for you to get those margaritas or tequila. That's right. So we got the Chozo de Margarita, which is where you're gonna get those margaritas. And then we've got the La Cava de Tequila, where you're gonna get those tequilas. The tequila place is actually inside the pavilion, just so you guys know that. But that is Mexico. And in case you're looking for some Mexican-like items, that is inside the pavilion there. You're gonna get some sugar skulls or some alebrijes. Next up, as we're following the map around that full figure 8, right? We're going around the lagoon, around the lake. We've got Norway. Ding, ding, ding. You know what Norway equals? Frozen. Yep, that's right. So this is where the Frozen Ever After ride is. And this is where you can meet the sisters. Elsa and Anna are there to meet and greet guests. We've got 2 restaurants here of notary, right? The first one is gonna be Askershush. Askershush is a princess character meal. Yes, you need reservations. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Check out that menu, but it's princesses, multiple princesses. The next thing up, I am not even gonna try to say it, but it is a bakery over in Norway. So delicious. It is known for their school bread. And you plant-based vegans out there, yeah, they have vegan soft pretzels in there covered with chocolate. Oh my goodness. But Viking coffee, and it's a bakery. So lots of yummy goodness over in Norway. But we got to move on. China. Next thing up is China. Not really a ride, but just know as you go into China, you can go see Reflections of China, which is a Circle Vision 360 movie about China. Yeah. Issue here, it can be kind of motion sensitive because it's 360. It's a full circle theater. And you know, this guy, he pops up here and then he's over there and then he's over there and then sometimes it does this spinning like around so you can see the Great Wall of China. Whew. I need a breather just from that experience, but it is just a film, just a movie. Again, you can skip it or not. Time killer, air conditioning. If it's too much motion for you, just close your eyes. That's what I do. But the dining to notate here is gonna be 9 Dragons. This is a super nice restaurant. You need reservations. Consider it like contemporary Chinese cuisine. Next thing up is the Lotus Blossom Cafe. This is where you're gonna get some just quick Chinese food, you know, pot stickers, egg rolls, orange chicken, fried rice, all that goody stuff. Again, it's a quick service. Third item here is Joy of Tea. Yeah, you want some tea or boba tea? Yep, this is where you're gonna go for that. And they even have some cocktails. Again, that's in China. Next thing up is you're gonna hit the Outpost. Now, the Outpost isn't a specific country, but it does feel very African adventure themed. And they do have one quick service in there, and it's called the Refreshment Outpost. You can get hot dogs, soft serve, ice cream, slushies, beer, lemonade. In this area, you can actually get your hair braided. I've seen hair braids in there, I've seen face painting in there, and there's usually a couple of guys that are hand carving, hand crafting safari-like animals. They're literally just in there whittling away these beautiful creations. We have purchased several of these beautiful animal creations, but yes, this is where you're gonna get it, is in the Outpost. Next thing up is Germany. If you've seen any of my videos, you will know my husband's favorite is Germany. Why? Pretzels, giant soft pretzels, bigger than your head. He has to get one every single time. That's gonna be in Germany. In fact, the cart is right it's right in front of the country. Also, Germany is where you're gonna meet Snow White if she is of interest for you. But there's two restaurants here to notate. First is gonna be Beer Garden. Now I have several videos on just Beer Garden. Absolutely love this location. Yes, you are gonna need reservations. It is a German buffet. So think sausage and sauerkraut and all that good stuff, potatoes. But the thing to notate here is they have an awesome live German band. And let me tell you, these guys are absolutely phenomenal. The instruments they come out and they play, absolutely love it. In fact, they have a different playlist that they play for the holidays as well. So we love going during the, basic time, middle time of the year. And then also we love to go to Beer Garden for the holidays for that switch up of music. The second restaurant here is Summerfest. And this is known for brats, sauerkraut, pretzels, bread pudding, German beer, and wine. And that is Germany. Next up is Italy. Italy, you guessed it, stereotypical. What do you think's in Italy? Pizza. So if you want pizza, you want to go to Via Napoli. So we got some awesome, authentic Italian here. Pizza, soups, salad. Love Via Napoli. Next, you've got Tutto Italiana Ristorante. Oh my goodness, I just butchered that. You're gonna get traditional Italian there as well. Again, reservations. Third thing here, I know I'm gonna say this long, but basically gelato. If you love gelato in a cup, in a waffle cone, or perhaps sorbet, that is all in Italy. Next thing up is the American Adventure. They don't call it America because we're already in America. They call it the American Adventure. And once you have hit America, you are halfway through the World Showcase. You are halfway through that figure eight. So if you were standing on one side of the figure eight and you looked straight across the lake there, you would see America. So the things to notate here, just some little attractions here. We got the American Adventure with Mark Twain and Benjamin Franklin. You're gonna learn and explore America, especially its beginnings and roots, with some awesome animatronics actually. It's a really good time killer, air conditioning, get you out of the sun situation. We don't do it every trip, but we do it frequently. Next thing up is the Voices of Liberty. If you want to listen to some amazing singing, especially around the holidays, we love going into the American Pavilion and listening to the Voices of Liberty. And of course, on the other side of America, you've got the American Garden Theater, which is where you're going to see America Garden Rocks concerts, which is where we saw Disney on Broadway, which is where the Candlelight Processional happens. But for eats, we've got the Regal Eagle Smokehouse. I'm sure you guys have seen us feature this restaurant before. It is a quick service, and I really don't have anything else to say except for craft drafts, beer and barbecue. I absolutely love their French fries, actually. And then there's a stand just outside for funnel cakes, yeah. Geoffrey's Coffee, ding, 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 I said it, coffee if you need some coffee at this point. And then we got the Fife and Drum Tavern, which is gonna be an outside cart with popcorn, turkey leg, pretzel, etc. That is America. Next up, we've got Japan. Now, let me say something special about Japan. Absolutely love taking pictures in Japan. They have a picturesque view over the water, right? They have a beautiful waterfall and koi fish pond. Absolutely love the glory beauty that is Japan. But we got to talk about some eats here, and a lot of the eats are pretty similar and I can't really pronounce them. We got the Kabuki Cafe, which is an outside stand, which is where you're going to get some Japanese snacks featuring Japanese shaved ice, sushi, and drinks. Then we have the Katsura Grill. Again, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. That is a quick service. Basically think of teriyaki chicken, teriyaki everything, sushi, and noodles. Then we have Teppen Ito. Now this is a restaurant that requires reservations. It is on the pricey side, especially if you want steaks and something like that. But this is gonna be that traditional Japanese food cooked in front of you on those grills, and they flip and throw food. Absolutely love Teppen Ito. So just think steak, shrimp, sushi, all that good stuff, and vegetables, yeah. Last thing here is the Takasumi Thai. Did I say that right? This is nice. Very, very nice. Reservations, fancy. It's traditional Japanese meets artisan Japanese. I think it's like in the $200 or something range per person. Yeah, nice. Next up is Morocco. Now Morocco is a great place if you want to meet Jasmine, if you want to do some Moroccan shopping, or if you want to get some henna. That's right, check out my video of me and my mother getting some henna. But the eatery here is Spice Road Table. This is where you're gonna need reservations. It is on the waterfront, which is pretty cool. So if you wanna get reservations in the evening, you can see those fireworks. But this is Mediterranean Eats, and yeah, I really love their hummus fries. Next up is France. Now, France is home of Remy, right? Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. We already talked about that. It's a good place to meet Aurora or Belle. They also have two other attractions, right? They have a Beauty and the Beast sing-along, which is basically a 15-minute film where people can sing along to our favorite Beauty and the Beast songs. They also have Impressions de France, which is basically exploring France through film. It's an 18-minute film. Again, time killer, air conditioning, do it or don't do it, but that's what is in France. Now, there's a lot of eats in France, a lot of things I can't pronounce, but basically we got the Chefs de France, which is a reservation, kind of pricey meal here, but is traditional French food. Go ahead and check out the menu. Next we have is the Chefs de France quick service stand. Again, that's for drinks. Then we have Monsieur Paul. That is a nice. Reservations required, like $200 per person situation, gourmet French cuisine restaurant. We have an ice cream cart as well, so think fancy ice cream treats there. We have a patisserie or a bakery where you can actually get a warm baguette. Yeah, but really delicious bakery, all kinds of sandwiches and quiches and soups, and that is at the patisserie. Then we have the Crêperie de Paris, which is a quick service for crepes. They have breakfast crepes, sweet crepes, savory crepes, and that's France. Now, before we get to the next country, you are gonna pass the International Gateway. Now, remember I talked about how there was two exits into Epcot. This is the second one. So this is for Skyliner people, Epcot resort people. You're gonna come in and out of the International Gateway, which is near France. And note, they do have an international gateway store there, which you're gonna get general souvenirs, snacks, and t-shirts and stuff like that. But the next country, as you continue around that World Showcase, is gonna be the United Kingdom. Now, this is a great place to meet Alice and Mary Poppins. And they have a really fun labyrinth in the back if you need to kind of let your kids just run and play. But we've got some eats here. First one is a Rose and Crown. I have featured them several times in our videos. Yes, you need reservations. Really delicious bangers and mash, fish and chips, beer. The restaurant is on the waterfront, so yeah, Epcot fireworks at evening time. And then we have the Yorkshire Country Fish Shop, and this is a quick service stand that's going to serve you those fish and chips. So basically grab and go fish and chips. Then we have the Rose and Crown pub. So it's connected to the Rose and Crown dining restaurant, but this is just the pub. Yeah, what does pub equal? Drinks, you got me. Shopping here is the tea caddy. So if you love tea and you want to try tea, various flavors of tea, that's where you're going to go. And also Winnie the Pooh souvenirs can be found in the United Kingdom. And the final country here is Canada. Now, Canada has something called Canada Far and Wide. It is similar to China. It is a 360 circle vision movie. Again, motion sickness as they pan around the screens through Canada. So just be careful. But yeah, I mean, time killer, air conditioning, just close your eyes if you got too much motion going on. But that is what's notated here in Canada. And also maple popcorn that is also vegan. It is so yummy. They have a cart out front for you to get some maple popcorn. But these are the restaurants to note. First, Geoffrey cart. Yep, more coffee. So you can get coffee one way, coffee the other way, coffee in the middle, coffee everywhere throughout Epcot. And then we have La Serrière, which is a steak house, which is expensive. You do need reservations, but just think steak and seafood for La Cellier. And that's it. That is the World Showcase, but there's a few more things to notate. So but when Mexico starts or Canada starts, depending on where you're going, there's that little area that's in between the two figure eights. Just note there are two stores there. One is called Port of Entry. The other one is called Disney Traders. And those are just kind of your generic Epcot souvenirs, you know, pins, t-shirts, all that good stuff. And there's also, yep, more coffee over there. Disney wants to make sure you've got enough caffeine to keep going. In this area here is also a great way to meet Minnie Mouse and Pluto and some more of our favorite friends. But yeah, that's Epcot at a glance, guys. Whew. Sorry about that long video. And just note, Epcot has festivals 4 times a year. Now these different festivals are gonna bring in additional food, so more food stands featuring food and drinks and all sorts of craziness. It's gonna feature some more shopping kiosks as well. So in addition to what I just said, just note that if you go during a festival, there's gonna be more eats, more drinks, and more shopping. But yes, that is Epcot. Again, think of it like a figure eight. We've got the rides in the future world kind of at the beginning, and then the World Showcase all the way in the back. But plenty of awesome rides for those kiddies. Remy, Frozen, the 3 Caballeros, right? Spaceship Earth, Nemo, Soarin'. Love Epcot. But yeah, this video got a little bit long, so we got to kick it up a notch here and get going. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, coming soon will be Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. I already have the Magic Kingdom video up and out. So hopefully you guys found this helpful and gives you a little insight into what is exactly at Epcot. Epcot has so many different eats and restaurants inside the countries and kind of these nooks and crannies that you really do have to take the time to fully explore all the countries to really understand everything that is in Epcot. Because if you just walk around it real quick, you're gonna miss a whole bunch of yumminess. Let's just put it that way. But as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications. Like this video and comment. Do you like these videos? I still have 2 more parks to go, and then I have a whole nother series brewing up here that we're gonna do next. But yeah, my goal is to help you out. Everyone says, you know, Magic Kingdom's fun, do these rides. Epcot's fun, do these rides. But sometimes I feel like you guys wanna know all that's in the map so you can plan better. And remember, if you wanna see actual footage of the parks, I have lots of vlogs up of my family or just me walking through these parks, riding the rides, eating the foods, even shopping some of the shops. So if you want to see actual footage of these parks, make sure you check out those vlog videos. Otherwise, I hope you found this useful. And yeah, as always, guys, mahalo for watching. Nina out. Bye, guys.